Let's look at this question from CAT 2005. It says Ram and Shyam run a race between points A and B 5 kilometers apart. Ram starts at 9 am from A at a speed of 5 kilometers per hour, reaches B and returns to A at the same speed. Shyam starts at 9:45 am from A at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour, reaches B and comes back to A at the same speed. Now, at what time do Ram and Shyam first meet each other? So let us first try to visualize what this question is trying to say. So this is my point A, this is my point B. The distance is 5 kilometers, but let's just try to visualize what it's saying. So Ram is starting from here. Okay, so Ram starts at 9 am. So at 9:45, Ram would be somewhere here. And in the meanwhile, Shyam would have just started out. Now this is the initial condition at 9:45. Then what happens? Then it says Ram goes, reaches B and then turns back. In the meanwhile, Shyam at 9:45 is then starting from here. He also starts moving, and they probably meet somewhere here. So this is the situation. So in 45 minutes, Ram would have traveled this distance, and then after that Ram travels this distance and Shyam travels this distance. So if you see all these colored lines, what do you see? The sum of this purple line plus this green line here, and this orangish light here, you see it is twice of 5 kilometers, because if I just add all these distances up, I get 2 times of 5 kilometers. So firstly, I need to do some calculations. I need to calculate that at 9:45 how much distance had Ram traveled, that is this distance. This is fairly straightforward. 45 minutes, that is 45 by 60 hours multiplied by the speed of Ram, which is 5 kilometers per hour. This I get is 15 by 4 kilometers. So this part I calculated as 15 by 4 kilometers. Now how much is this green portion? This green portion is basically what Ram has traveled after this. So let us say we are talking about time t. So after 9:45, that is after 45 minutes, they are both traveling at t minutes before they meet. So in time t, Ram would have traveled how much? Speed of Ram is 5 kilometers per hour. This is for Ram multiplied by time t. This, let me just remove this, plus how much has Shyam traveled? He has also traveled time t. His speed is 10. 10 into t is what he has traveled, that is this distance. This is 10 into t, and this green thing is 5 into t. Plus 15 by 4 here gives me, as I told you, if I sum all this, I'm basically doing this 5 kilometer stretch twice, which is equal to 10. So now I get 15t is equal to 10 minus 15 by 4, which is equal to 25 by 4. So my time comes out to be 25 minutes. This is an hour, so if I solve it, I'll get in minutes. So this is 25 minutes after 9:45. So this is 9:45 plus 25 minutes, which is equal to 10:10 am. So this is what we get for the first part. Now the second question says, at what time does Shyam overtake Ram? So I'm going to remove this because, okay, let me just move this. Now we'll have to draw the diagram again. So this was A and this was B. We had said that here is somewhere that they met. Now at this point of time, Ram was moving in this direction and Shyam was moving in this direction. This we had found out in the previous question. Now what happens is Ram continues to move in this direction. So let us say the Shyam overtakes Ram at time t. This is the second. So in that time Ram would have reached here. Now Shyam, what is Shyam doing? Shyam is moving in the same time t. He moved here. Then he turned. Then he reached the same spot as Shyam. So Ram was traveling this distance and Shyam traveled this trajectory, as you saw. So now if you see this distance, Ram also traveled and Shyam also traveled. So Shyam is traveling an extra distance of this whole curve. Yani he moved from this point, let me call this point C. So Shyam moved from point C to B and back from B to C. Let me call this D. So distance DC is the common portion between Ram and Shyam. And Shyam is doing an extra of 2 times BC because here CB and BC. So this much we know. Now this is all we need to solve the question. Now Ram's speed is 5 and Shyam's speed is 10. So what is the distance that Shyam would have traveled in time t? It is 10 into t minus distance that Shyam has traveled, that is 5 times t. So this whole thing minus, if I take this out because this is what I am subtracting, is going to remain 2 times of CB. So 2 times of CB. But do I know CB? Yes, I do, because I calculated Shyam started from point A at 9:45 and he traveled for 25 minutes before he reached point C. So how much would have Ram traveled in 25 minutes? That is 25 into speed of Shyam, that is 10. 25 by 60 into 10, which is equal to 25 by 6 kilometers. The whole stretch is 5 kilometers. So what is CB here? This is 5 minus 25 by 6 kilometers. This is minutes, right? So this is equal to, this means CB is equal to 5 minus 25 by 6. Solving for this, I get 5 by 6 kilometers. So CB now I found out to be 5 by 6 kilometers. So I simply plug this here into this equation. 5t is equal to 2 into 5 by 6. So t simply becomes 2 by 6 hours, which is equal to 20 minutes. So this is 20 minutes after they reached here. So they reached here at 10 hours. We calculated this, plus 20 minutes, which is equal to 10:30 AM. So if I see my answer choices, 10:30 AM is my answer choice B.